Welcome to eAssist Growing Your Dental Business podcast. Tune in as the experts in dental business share tips and tools to grow your practice. To learn more, visit dentalbilling.com. Please welcome our next guest.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Growing Your Dental Business podcast. Today, we're diving into one of the most talked about topics in recent years, and that is artificial intelligence and how it's transforming industries worldwide, including dentistry. So specifically, we're going to talk about how AI is revolutionizing practice management and marketing. I'm Jacqueline Hurley, and I am thrilled to welcome Adrian Lefler, CEO of my social practice, to the show today. Welcome, Adrian.
Hey, thanks, Jacqueline. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So my social practice is a top dental marketing company, and Adrian's dedication to helping dental professionals is really well known. And he's been doing this for 14 years in the dental marketing world. He's built a reputation for delivering engaging and insightful presentations. And if you've had a chance to hear him speak before, you already know we're in for something special today. So you're based out of Suncrest, which is just up the hill from me, actually.
Yeah.
Not too far.
Why are we not going to lunch?
I didn't realize you were so close. How old are your kids now?
Oh, 26 to 19.
Oh, nice.
I have four kids. 25, 23, 21, 19.
Oh,
they went to Lone Peak, Ridgeline, then they went to Timberline, and then they went to Lone Peak.
That's my kids too. So
are you down in Highland, the Lehigh area?
I'm in Highland. Our home is right there by Ridgeline, pretty close to Ridgeline.
Oh my God, we're like 4 minutes from each other.
I know.
Literally right up the hill. I had no idea.
That's so funny.
Wow. Okay.
Funny. Well, one thing that intrigued me on your bio was that you not only have 4 kids and you share your life with your wife and 4 kids, but you have a mix of lively pets. So I want to hear about that.
Oh, I have the most amazing puppy dog on the planet. He is a Cocker Spaniel Poodle mix.
Oh.
And then I have the worst dog on the planet, and he is a Yorkie Poodle mix. So we have those 2 dogs. We have 2 cats, but I think one of them got eaten by a coyote. We'll find out if it shows up. There's coyotes run around these hills up here and they snatch cats, and I think they got one of our cats anyway. So lost a cat.
That's too bad.
Then we have Plotinus, who is our philosopher goldfish, and we have a lazy lizard, and we have a toad, and we have another fish, Japanese fighting fish. You know, what are those called?
Wow.
Beta.
Oh.
Let's see. And then we have a whole bunch of voles in our grass, but those aren't our pets. We're trying to kill those off.
I've seen yards around here with those in too, and we've been lucky and haven't had any attack our yard yet, so that's good.
And anyway, we had a couple other dogs here. My daughter was living with us. My second daughter was living with us for a little while, and she had 3 dogs, big ones.
Oh,
we had
wow.
5 dogs in the house for about 6 months. Holy cow. That was nuts. Craziness.
Well, who's the animal lover at your house?
It's probably my wife, mostly.
Oh, good for her. That's so great. Well, let's get talking a little bit about AI. And I know you probably sleep, eat, and drink AI, because every time I talk to you, we have a conversation about these cool things that you have been learning or showing me. And I think that is so incredible that you are so well versed in it. So, but before we jump into that, I actually want to know, how did you get into dentistry?
Oh, it's a fluke, total fluke. I had a marketing company before my social practice started. This is back in 2005 to 2009. And we just got cleaned out in the credit crash. But as we were wrapping that up and that was falling apart, I had figured out, and this is right after Google added the Google Maps to the search results. Back then, you could do a few things to create a Google listing, and you could get a business to show up right on the front page of Google in that Google Maps section. And that's something that I'd figured out like right as that company was falling apart. So as that company fell apart, I was like, what am I going to do next? I knew that this is a good product. I thought it was a great search engine optimization product, but I didn't know what industry to go into. But I had a friend that I'd worked with. His name is Seth Daly. He's my partner here at My Social Practice, who had been working at a dental marketing company, which I won't mention the name of, but they went out of business as well in the crash. And he just had a lot of contacts in the industry. And so I said, Seth, I've got this product. I think we can get dentists to show right up on the front page of Google. He's like, well, I know a lot of dentists. And so we just put it together and we started offering the service. And it's been awesome. We basically provided that service for 15 years. It's developed and changed over the years, but basically we help dentists show up on the front page of Google, which is like SEO.
Nice.
It's an SEO
It
service.
is.
And soon after we launched that, we got into social media and we changed our name. We had a name that was a dental-esque type name, but we changed it to My Social Practice because we really went deep into the social media marketing portion of offering services. And we kind of rode that wave for 8 or 9 years. People know us mostly for our social media service and because our
Yeah.
name is My Social Practice. But we do everything in digital marketing. We build websites, do copywriting, SEO, reputation management, ads. So we're kind of like a digital marketing company for dentists.
One-stop shop, it sounds
Yeah,
like, really.
yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
So anyway, it's kind of a fluke. I was like, I had a friend, I didn't know what to do. I had something that I thought would work. He knew some people, we kind of fell into it. And we actually had a couple different companies come to us over the years and say, hey, I really want you to come into the plastic surgery industry, or I want you to come into dermatology or optometry. And we have ventured out and produced products and services for other elective healthcare industries. And we've always come back to dentistry. It's a great industry to be in. It's big and small at the same time. The doctors are awesome. The team members are great. People are honest. They work hard. They pay their bills. We just really enjoy working with dentists and we understand the industry. We just totally get the dynamic of running a dental practice and all of the problems that you got to solve. So once you know that and you've built the relationships, the grass is not always greener. So
Yeah.
we've stayed in
Yeah.
dental.
Well, I don't blame you. I fell into dentistry too, and I love dentistry. I love the people here, and just everyone is just good and down to earth, and I really do love it here as well. So thank you for sharing that. It's nice for you to kind of go a little bit over all of the services that My Social Practice does as well, because I feel like not everyone always knows that you've kind of branched into like all of the websites and all of the things that you're doing. So that's great.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Let's talk about AI and how that has been integrated into marketing, and kind of what are some of the trends that you see happening with AI in dentistry?
The actual technology is developing so fast that you almost can't even keep up with it. There's been something like in the last 18 months, 20 months, like close to $200 billion that's been invested into developing AI technologies. When you have that much money being dumped into the development of an industry, innovation just goes nuts.
Yeah.
So there's just the groundwork that is being developed around what they call large language models, which are basically these large algorithmic models that predict behavior. They can predict language, they can predict imagery, they can predict music. It's a prediction model is basically what AI is. It's built like a human brain, what we know about the human brain. But all of these, the groundwork that's being laid for this is really setting the stage for some significant revolutions in the way that we just interact with each other and the way that we do business. I think we're going to go 10 years, we're going to look back, and this is going to be like the invention of the internet. It's going to be like electricity. We are going to be interacting with AI constantly throughout the day, whether we realize it or not. So the capabilities are just fascinating. So to your question of like, what are some of the trends? There's just an immense amount of effort and energy from across multiple disciplines and industries being focused on developing this and making it better. When the tide rises, all boats rise with the tide. It's kind of like that, as the development of this technology gets better and better and better, and it becomes more sophisticated, the capabilities across the board get better. So we're just seeing that happen at a really, really quick pace right now.
That's amazing. So tell me just maybe a practical way that you have found that dental practices can use AI in their practice.
So, well, there's a lot of services that are being created. So, I mean, there are like tools that you can use that, like marketing tools, like for example, Chat GPT. I mean, if you've played with Chat GPT and you understand how it works, I mean, writing is never the same after you start using it. It speeds up copywriting capabilities infinitely. Like we can write 2 to 3 times as much copy now using AI, and it's just as good in terms of search engine optimization copy. It's just as creative or better in terms of like just the the creativity and the how
Sure.
interesting you can make dental copy. I mean, it's hard to make dental writing interesting in the first place, but you can get so much more done, right? So there are tools like that, like ChatGPT. There's tools that will create imagery and video, all which can be used in marketing. I know that a lot of practices have to send out emails to their patients to remind them. I had a meeting that I spoke at the other day where we were testing out ChatGPT, and somebody wanted me to write a letter to a patient who had missed their billing. They'd put them on a financing plan and they hadn't made payments for a long time. So the question was, I want to write an email to this patient, but I got to make sure I write it, so that it's polite but firm and whatnot. And we wrote it in 25 seconds, right?
Yeah.
So things
Mhm.
like that just speed up copywriting there's a lot of tools like that. But there's also products that are being developed. You've got products like Pearl. They use X-rays. They run X-rays through an AI tool that basically helps to recognize caries and disease in the mouth to help give like a second opinion to the dentist or some support to the dentist's clinical analysis or their case. There's a company I just ran into the other day called Bola AI, which is a little microphone that you wear and it takes notes and summarizes your entire conversation, uploads it into the patient management system. There's products
Wow.
like Annie that we've launched, which is basically a web chat system that has full human-like conversations in web chat, or a phone assistant. So you can turn over your phones in the evening or weekends, and you've got an AI phone assistant that'll answer and is almost as good or better than a human being. So
Wow.
there's tools like that. Insurance
Mhm.
verification. There's AI for insurance verification. You were mentioning claims, that you guys are using AI for claims. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you using Synthesia, which
We
is a
are.
avatar product where you can create videos that look like you. You can do training videos. So these things are coming online so fast and they're developing so quickly. I'm sure in the long run, a lot of them will kind of fall out of favor, and maybe 70, 80% of the stuff that's being developed will end up being junk. But there is some really, really cool stuff being developed that is seriously saving practices time, lowering their costs, improving their top line, improving revenue.
Well, I love that. It's just all about efficiency, right? Dentists want to be more efficient. Well, any business wants to be more efficient. So if you can figure out how to be more efficient and, like you say, drive revenue, then why not utilize a product like all of these different AI products you've been talking about?
Yeah, you want to improve your productivity. If your productivity goes up, your costs go down, your top line goes up, you make more you make more money, you have more flexibility in your advertising and who you hire and if you give people raises and keeping the best people. I mean, productivity is what it's all about, right?
It is for sure. So there's a lot of anxiety around AI in different industries, just fear of, is AI going to replace my job? Or so how are team members embracing AI? You work with a lot of dental practices and you probably have that conversation quite often. What is your thought on how do you feel team members are embracing AI?
Well, I think it's the elephant in the room. I think that there is a general, if it's a new technology, I mean, we're talking about a wide adoption of this is happening like as we speak. And it's really just early adopters at this point. There's a lot of people that really have no understanding of how AI works. And I think there's a lot of fear just around the unknown. And when people have their first kind of interaction with, like, say, like ChatGPT, and they see how
Mhm.
human-like it is, it's a little freaky.
Mhm.
It's a little bit terrifying, like, oh my gosh, this is like, is this thing alive? You know what I mean? Because it
Yeah.
feels like it's alive, right?
Yeah.
It's responding in a way that's so human-like that you're like, it gets a little, it's a little scary. It's a little unnerving. Okay. And that's totally normal.
Mhm.
So that aspect of it kind of puts everybody on point, right? Fight or flight, like, oh crap, what's going to happen here? Just generally speaking, as I've had conversations with dental teams, not dentists, but more dental team. I think
Mhm.
dentists are at least the early adopters, the ones that have called us and said, hey, we want to try Annie out, or we want to try some of these AI tools and products. They're like super excited about it. I think the dental team members are a little apprehensive because the front office and the team members, their job is to solidify those, provide a great service and solidify those relationships with the patients. And so there's a practice patient relationship that's maintained that's very important, right? It's
Mm.
kind of the heartbeat of the practice, right? If you have a
Yeah.
good dental team and they have great relationships and they build relationships with your patients, you've got a solid practice, right? Well, when AI steps in and it starts to take over a conversation or do a task, I think these dental team members get a little bit freaked out because they're like, well, if AI can do this, then and it can do it better than I can do, then what am I supposed to do? And I think the line of demarcation is going to happen around this area. Things that robots can do, data entry, anything that's like a repetitive, non direct interaction with patients that builds relationships, I think you want to probably move that into AI, giving your dental team members more time to focus on that interpersonal relationship. You then basically parse tasks according to who can do it better. Because a robot, an AI, is going to be able to handle insurance verification a whole hell of a lot faster than a human can, right? And an
Mhm.
AI can answer calls 24/7. A human can't. An AI can handle a web chat easy. Nobody wants to handle web. There's not a dental practice on the planet right now that wants to manage web chat, but everybody wants it. Like patients want it. They want to be able to chat, but nobody wants to give it to them, right? So as long as you can kind of like start separating that line and giving some of these tasks to AI, then you free up time for your dental team to do what they do best, which is to focus on the patient in the office and whatnot. Um, I will say one other thing about this. There was a research paper done by Columbia University that came out a few months ago. They were looking at this very issue, like who's going to lose their jobs to AI. And they analyzed the labor constriction during the Industrial Revolution. So during the Industrial Revolution, as we're transitioning from farm work into all the technologies that we had in the Industrial Revolution, right? Manufacturing and whatnot, the labor market constricted by about 15%. Productivity went through the roof, profits went way through the roof, but people were out of jobs because nobody needed a ditch digger anymore. They built a machine to do it, right? So there was about a 15% constriction. They're anticipating about a 5% constriction in the labor market. That's still significant, okay? But it's not like the Industrial Revolution, at least according to this paper by Columbia University. So there will be some people who will lose their jobs, but in the dental industry, you probably shouldn't be worried about the dentists are losing their jobs. I don't think dental team members are going to lose their jobs. What's going to happen is dental practices that leverage AI technologies are going to frankly just outperform practices that don't because they're going to be more efficient, they're going to be more productive. So it's coming, it's happening. Practices are starting to adopt these technologies already, and they're just going to simply be able to do more with less.
Yeah.
So I think that that's what, at least in the dental industry, that's the decision that's to be made. It shouldn't be dental team members worried that a robot's going to start shaking hands with patients when they walk in the front door. But it will be, hey, do you have to sit there and do insurance verification for an entire day or have an employee on staff that's all they do when you can give it to an AI tool that'll do it for hundredth of the cost and twice as fast?
Yeah. That makes sense. I love that. I think that's Innovation is quite amazing, and you can never take away the relationship aspect. Like
No,
AI will never step into the relationship aspect. So if a practice makes that their top priority and building that relationship with their practice, with their patients, then I feel like it's going to be a win-win all the way around because like you said, it's
yeah,
going to be a lot more efficient. So
yeah, I agree. Yep.
good. So we've talked about a lot of different products today, different artificial intelligence and how it's going to impact. Do you have an innovation that you've seen coming that excites you more than another innovation in the industry?
Well, I think conversational AI is the thing that is really, really interesting to me. So conversational AI is the ability of an AI to basically have human-like conversations. It's the ability of the AI to recognize the patterns in the conversation and be able to anticipate where the conversation is going. And this is a revolutionary technology. It's only going to get really, really good. It's good right
Yeah.
now, but it's going to get freakishly good. Here's an example. I call Verizon because I have a question about my bill. The agent picks up. It's not a live agent, it's an AI agent. It's like, put your account number in and we'll pull your records. Okay, so I put my account number in, and then it gives me the option A, B, C, D, or E, or F, or whatever. Do you want to do this? You want to do that? And I just need to ask a question. It's not on the list. Okay.
Yeah.
So I push pound, I try and get to a live agent, or I push
Yeah.
zero, and I
Yeah.
get in a loop, right? And I get stuck.
Yep.
And we've all been stuck
Mm-hmm.
on that stupid phone call. Okay.
Yeah.
That technology is going to be gone in a year or two. Okay.
Nice.
We're not going to use that anymore because it's not going to be necessary. You're going to call Verizon, you're going to talk to somebody, they're going to listen to what you have to say, they're going to pull your records, they're going to solve the problem, send you a text, send you a confirmation email, do the billing, whatever it might be done, and you'll be off in like 3.5 minutes, and it won't even be a real person. It'll be AI. And you're
Isn't that
never going
amazing?
to want to go back.
It's true.
You're never going to want
It's
to go
true.
back. This is going to save you tons of time, right?
Right.
So,
We've all been there.
so conversational AI, and we're working on this, right? So we have, and this is why I'm excited about it, is because it's something that we're like leaning into heavily. Like web chat, 80% of practices do not have web chat on their websites, and the ones that do, it's not even really a web chat. It's kind of like forms, and it's like automated bots and stuff like that.
Right.
You can train AI now on everything about a dental practice, like literally unlimited amounts of information, and it can have conversations with somebody on your website. You don't have to manage it anymore. So and that's just going to get better and better. You can start training its sales skills. You can start teaching it to overcome objections. I am super, super excited about that capability. It's that streamlined management of lead gen on the website, or tying it to a phone system. So you've got that. That's what I'm really excited about because we're working on
Well,
it, right? So
I love it. So just so you know, today I went to Hello Annie just to see what it was all about because I wanted to
yeah,
learn about it. And I was super impressed. There's like recordings on there you can
yeah,
listen to. And I listened to a recording of Annie answering the phone from a new patient calling in, and she was like, well, are you, asking him all the questions, and he was answering all the
yeah,
questions, and everything he said, she had a fantastic response to.
yeah,
And he wanted to book an appointment for the next week in the afternoon. And she said, well, I have Monday at 1, Tuesday at
yeah,
3. She named all these options. And he's like, well, do you have something later on Tuesday? And she said, yeah, we could see you at 4 or 5. And he was like, well, 4 would be great. And I'm thinking, this is AI talking to this real
yeah,
person. That is so
yeah,
incredible. Yeah, I can exactly see why you're so excited about it.
yeah.
Well, we're probably getting to the end of our podcast. Is there anything you'd like to share just kind of to wrap up today?
If you're interested in learning more about Annie, you can go to mysocialpractice.com. We've got several blog posts on there about it. Annie AI is the name of the product, of the tool. You can also go to helloannie.co, the site that Jacqueline mentioned. But it's a great product. It's something that literally just launched within the last 2 or 3 weeks, and we're
Wow.
really, really excited about it. It's basically a phone assistant where you could turn your phones over in the evenings or weekends, or even you can roll them over during the weekday. after it hits like a certain number of calls, it can roll over if you don't pick it up, or if you turn your phones off, it'll roll over. And she can
Nice.
have full human-like conversations. She can schedule appointments. We're working on getting payment set up so that she can take payments, and also like reschedule appointments. So there's some functionality she doesn't have yet, but we're working on it. But she's really good at answering questions, scheduling appointments, and making sure you don't lose any missed opportunities. So yeah, check it
I
out.
love that.
MySocialPractice.com.
MySocialPractice.com or helloannie.co.
Yeah. Yep.
Perfect. Thank you, Adrian, for being here today. I feel like we have learned so much about AI. If you are even curious about how you can use AI, you can go to mysocialpractice.com, and I'm sure you could reach out to Adrian or his team and find out, but definitely go to helloannie.co. You're going to be pleasantly surprised with how that works. This podcast is sponsored by eAssist Dental Solutions. If you were to walk into your office tomorrow and you were excited to tackle the day because your team was focused, they were going to take care of your patients, and your insurance claims were being taken care of in the background, because eAssist is handling all of those insurance billing issues, and they've created peace of mind for you. Please reach out to dentalbilling.com if you are not feeling this confident about everything running so effortlessly in your practice. eAssist can make a difference in your practice when it comes to third-party dental billing. And just so you know, let's subscribe, like, and share this podcast with others. We have so many valuable insights from a lot of practice management and dental consultants in the industry. You can learn something new every single week to help you with your practice. Thank you again, Adrian. Appreciate you being here.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And until next time, we'll see you again.
Okay. Thank you. Take care.
The purpose of this podcast is to interview the consultants within our eAssist Consultant Network. This podcast is for informational purposes only. For more details, please visit the homepage of this podcast platform at dentalbilling.com. Thanks for listening.